gosh, I had to press actually go live.
Well, it's kind of nice that it gives you that setup.
That is. That way you can
kind of see how the whole thing fits.
Yeah. Okay, so hi everyone. Hopefully it should work. So is it working? Oh, that's coming from here. We need to stop. Okay.
Oh, I'll know if it's live after I watch this ad.
Okay, I did put ads on it because I feel like we ought to
reap some reward.
We ought to earn something.
Yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone. Hopefully it should be correct. Yeah, but I still don't know if that chat is the correct one. Okay, thank you. Hi Duncan. Okay, Duncan said another test. So can you keep spamming the chat, Duncan? Oh, hey, Tiara. Okay. It's moving now. I see
it just gets
moving
lost at the bottom because it's cut off a little bit.
Yeah, okay. That was
it's
all
far
my
more
stuff
readable
from...
than it was last week, though. So
that's true. This
nicely done.
Got really loud all of a sudden.
Oh.
Yeah, I think let's bring it down.
Probably my voice, my
Holy
booming
smokes.
voice. Holy chihuahua.
Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to the stream. As you can see, the format is here to stay.
Oh,
it's
no.
Easy. Blah 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 blah.
I just love this floral arrangement.
The wallpaper is really nice.
We exist in this lovely little
fancy.
commune. We're outside.
So okay, thank you, Tiara and Duncan. Yes.
Luna has moved her chewing up here.
Yeah, it's
so
nice
you get to enjoy
Luna
it in
chewing
this
in the background
venue now.
Okay, but let's go ahead and get started with what we have to discuss today. So
okay.
We've been following Wordle from its inception.
Yes, we love Wordle.
And now to the New York Times has bought Wordle. And the creator of this, John Wardle, said this makes sense because the New York Times is where he got his start. They're the ones that published it and made it big.
Right.
Made it popular. So this was a good thing. And I looked up the guy that had copied Wordle, and he was being super sour about it on Twitter. He was like, I offered him so much more. I offered him this. I offered him this. So he was very upset by it, which is amazing to see. We love seeing babies get their due. I love seeing bitter people be better. Mm-hmm. But that was kind of cool. So
this is the biggest acquisition that happened this week. The biggest by far.
Wordle?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Anything else that got bought by anyone, probably useless property.
We have something else that got bought. But yeah, that is updating for Wordle. This is
hilarious.
Oh, this is
by
hilarious.
The way. Okay, I didn't know you put this on the list, but I'm glad you did.
I put this
Look
on the list.
Look at that smug loser. Look at that smug loser. Oh.
We don't like Mark Zuckerberg. But Meta says that it is forecasted to lose $10 billion, and they blamed this on Apple. So Apple, as of this year, I think, initiated this policy where they would allow users to opt out of data tracking across every different app, whatever was on the iPhone. So
right.
That includes all of Meta's properties, Instagram, Facebook. What else is owned by Meta? Snapchat, maybe. Whatever Meta's properties are.
Oculus, but I don't think Oculus is on the iPhone.
Yeah. You can, Tiara says Wordle is annoying. I actually really like Wordle.
Love Wordle.
I think it's such an easy daily little puzzle.
My work Discord will tag me if I don't do the daily work. They'll be like, where is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm the one who introduced them to it.
Right.
And now they'll be like, where's your Wordle? We have a daily thread. They get
Wordle?
Super into it. It's like,
yeah.
All these sales bros love the Wordle.
They love the Wordle. Duncan says it reminds me of an episode of Star Trek. Oh, poor Smudge.
Bless
you, Smudge.
Hey, bless you, buddy.
Oh, WhatsApp. Okay, thank you, Tiara. I thought WhatsApp was owned, but I wasn't sure. So
yeah, that's their chat client. Yeah. We don't use any Facebook. You use Instagram.
I have Instagram.
But
I use it? No.
No, I don't use anything Facebook. Bless it.
Yeah, I downloaded WhatsApp solely for my French friend, so she and I could talk, and that fell apart. So I should probably delete it because I haven't heard back from her in 8 months.
Aww.
Hopefully she's okay. But yeah, so I just thought this was funny that Meta is blaming Apple. Which is not a great way to...
No, ensure...
You're complaining that because we are no longer allowed to track our users, we're losing that much money because we can't sell your data anymore to businesses. So,
well, this is this is the issue. Facebook, and to some extent Google, but Google even sells products. But like,
right.
Facebook has always been about, firstly, devious company. Like when they first unveiled the Oculus,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're going to sell this for, I forget how much the Oculus 1 cost. The Oculus 2 is $200. They're selling that thing at like $150 profit loss.
Yeah.
But you're basically opting into them scanning your house, tracking your voice, listening to your eyes, watching or listening to your conversations.
Right.
Their entire operating model is about data collection and using the data to manipulate elections, to manipulate, investment. Like, if you think about all the data Facebook has, they could easily predict the stock market. They could easily make investments.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very scary business
Right.
model, and they've never sold anything. What can you buy from Facebook? Outside of, I can spend money to put ads up there.
Yeah.
But, like, their money model is far worse than even, like, a newspaper, because newspapers are ad operated too. There's also the subscriptions from the buyers, but like people pay to put ads in newspapers. But the
Right.
reason why is because the reader is going to be like, oh, I'm reading about the sports section and here's an advertisement for a new grill. It's like these things are alike.
Yeah.
But the whole Facebook money model is we're going to manipulate our users into seeing ads that we think are alike with them.
Right.
It's like this is a house of cards that will collapse.
Yeah.
And Apple taking this step in order to basically say like, no, you don't get the data for free.
Yeah.
You have to buy the newspaper. You have to engage with your audience. Like you cannot just take.
Yeah.
Because most people are, not in the know enough to know that they are the product.
Right.
Facebook is not a product. They are.
Yeah.
And I think this is great. Go ahead and blame Apple. See how far that gets you. Zuckerberg can rot for all I care.
As there have been, Epic tried to go up against Apple, and now Meta is trying to go up against Apple. So Apple, with its the way that it is
They
upsetting
just
their
block.
neighbors,
Yeah.
we
love it.
using that.
We love it. I love it especially.
Also, hi Arsenic and Space Cowboy. Hello. Oh,
Welcome.
Duffman. Holy moly, nice presentation. Thank you, Duffman. I
Wow.
appreciate that. I even wore a dress today. I wore a dress today for anyone that felt like they were missing out on the dresses.
The dress action. I wear my typical
I
aloha.
can stand up and model it over here
That's
for
right.
anybody that demands it.
I'm still in an aloha, just in case anyone wants some modeling on this end.
Someone will, don't worry.
Good. I hope they do.
Emerald shared this article with me.
What's this?
Which I thought it was great because I love positive world news. But there is this movement to create these underwater sculpture gardens. And for a very altruistic reason, because I didn't know this, but this article said that divers, 80% of divers will damage coral reefs on their dives because
Right.
they want to try and interact with, the environment they want to see. So they're damaging a incredibly fragile, very important ecosystem that's already on the brink of collapse because of bleaching
Everything else
and
on
whatnot.
top of
And
the
I didn't know
diving.
that
Yeah.
LED lights affect coral reefs and
Right.
stuff. So they created this sculpture garden so that divers can go investigate the sculpture garden and stay away from the coral reefs and stay away from shipwrecks, which apparently I've never liked the idea of diving anyway, but it does not surprise me that they have no disregard for the environment for the most part, and they don't care, and it's just like another sport for them. So this was a really, really interesting thing, and I love to see innovative people that are trying to make a difference and protect our planet. So this was a
That's super
really
cool.
interesting article, though. So yes, so thank you for that. I love that stuff. Okay, so now this isn't really news, but we wanted to talk. We went to Hollywood Studios, which is a theme park at Walt Disney World, on Monday.
Yes.
And we did all the Star Wars stuff,
Yes.
and it was fun. But what is crazy is we waited in line for like 120 minutes.
120 minutes for Rise of the Resistance,
Yes.
which is a very cool ride. It's a very cool ride.
Yeah. It is. It's
But 120 minutes, no less.
120 minutes standing. But it's a fun park. They took away this. They used to have it was presented by Turner Classic Movies called the Great Hollywood Movie Ride. And you'd get in this little boat And in the beginning, they'd like do the
They do the
hooray for Hollywood. And I loved it. Yes.
Hollywood.
It was totally my thing. That ride really resonated with me, and they took it away. But they put something cool in its place. They put this flat animated.
It's like you're in a cartoon.
Yes. What is it called?
It's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh yeah, here it is. Let's see if they have. I doubt they have any photos because they want you.
It kind of gives away the secret of
We
it.
waited 65 minutes in line standing for this as well. And so we kind of had this idea, do theme parks create lines to be less, what's it called when something works really well?
Efficient.
Less efficient because they want you standing there.
Yes.
Staying there longer, staying
Booking
for
more
dinner.
days
Exactly.
to see it all.
So we're thinking, is this a thing? Or is population capacity just maxed out?
Why not both?
Yeah.
I think it's both. I think it's a combination of the fact that there's more people now than there's ever been before.
Yeah.
And the parks themselves realize I can milk these people.
Yeah.
If we don't optimize the lines, that gets
Right.
them coming back for day 2, day 3, and
Yeah. There's some
money-making
thinking
scheme
behind it. PAF says I watched some Sophia Loren films all last week and it was lovely. Oh, nice! Yeah, so Sophia Loren's great. She's very funny. I've always thought she had such an animated presence. Duffin says I couldn't bear with that. Glad they're still employing traditional animators. Yeah, there is a lot of good things that I think behind the scenes Disney's trying to do with the theme parks and whatnot. This ride is hilarious.
You're going to talk about Toy Story Mania?
Let me say this in the most discreet way possible. This ride is so
Describe the carts right there.
Okay, so this ride right here, let me see the carts, if I can get a close.
Well, that was the first picture.
Okay.
The first picture had the...
Okay, so these carts are
Can
here.
we go back one? There you go.
They have these little cannons. Okay, and the point of the ride is you go through and you will shoot balloons on these projected screens.
It's 3D. It's cool.
Right.
It's cool. It's a cool effect.
It is a cool effect.
It's like a video game meets a ride.
Yes, and it's fun. It's like it spins you around. But the motion of shooting the cannon is the same motion that anyone...
A shake weight. It's the same motion.
It's the same motion as
a shake weight.
Yes.
If you've
And
ever
you're just
done the
doing-
exercise workout,
Right.
the shake weight.
So for the duration of this ride, and you have to do it really fast too to get multiple points, which is a hilarious ride. I'm sure someone has talked about that before, or there is some form I could find out about why does that ride have the motion associated with the cannon that it does. I want to go back here and see if I can.
Can we talk about the Han Solo ride? No, the Millennium Falcon ride. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, I wanted to show. So this ride was really cool because they have this flat, really, really bright, colorful LED projection mixed with...
I think those walls are straight up blank. I think there's a whole bunch of objects.
No, there's some stuff that's
it's painted?
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I think nothing is painted.
Okay.
There are objects in the room,
Right.
and then there are the most insane projectors you've ever seen, but you can't see them, that literally project everything you see. So it's like a cartoon come to life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's breathtakingly beautiful and awesome.
Devin said it came from a pure time. Oh.
Oh.
Tiara says, I was watching a toy collector vlog about how they hate living in Florida because everyone's a collector and knows this stuff is collectible. Oh,
It's
yeah,
true.
that would make sense. Yeah, there'd be a lot of vintage.
I can't even go to the Target and buy He-Mans. I have to order them all from the Big Bad Toy Store. But you can go to Oklahoma and you can get all the He-Mans.
Yeah.
All of them.
Here, everyone wants that stuff. But yeah, it was just a really, really cool... Although there was this really aggravating kid who was screaming at the top of his lungs right behind us, and nothing is scary on this ride.
It's a very cute, fun ride. It's funny.
So that just cemented any feelings I have towards that.
Let's go to the Galaxy's Edge section.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So this part of the park was really cool because they literally create an entirely new Star Wars planet.
Okay, this is all in.
This is in the ride
footage, by the way.
This is like the Rise of the Resistance ride, which is a very cool ride.
Yeah, it was very cool. This is the one we waited like 120 minutes for.
Yes.
But it was really cool.
Very cool.
And is there?
Oh,
I don't
nice.
think you guys can hear it. Do you want to hear it? Is the thing.
Thank you.
There was also a really good hologram of Rey, which was impressive.
Yeah, the holograms were really good. It was really cool though.
It's a
this
dope
is legit,
ride. Yeah, like this is not an
accurate.
exaggeration.
This is accurate.
This is exactly how the ride is. Unfortunately,
But okay, this
is
right
not
here,
accurate.
The Millennium Falcon one was not good. That was.
This
not
is the
good.
challenge. Millennium Falcon, the experience, the ride, is a worse version of Star Wars Squadrons that you can play in VR.
Although the set looked really cool.
The set is amazing. Everything in this place
But
looked.
you're in this ship. Okay, so these 6 people.
This
There's
is
6 of you here, and you each have a different role. So one of you is engineer, one of you is pilot, and the other is.
There's 2 pilots. One
There's 2
controls the
pilots.
speed, and one controls the actual movement of the ship.
There's 2 engineers.
Who just fix things that break.
And then there's 2 people in the middle, which I'm not sure what they were.
They're gunners. They hit the guns.
Okay, gunners.
But it's a cool idea. But when you get put on a ride with randos who suck
Yes.
at the basic tasks, you spend the entire ride with the Millennium Falcon like grinding along a wall. It's like you're playing a bad arcade game.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of grinding along a wall and nothing really is happening. And you see my ship's score was 4,000 credits.
Out of
Yours-
10,000 possible, yeah.
It was more than that.
Oh, it was like.
It was much
what,
more than that.
12,000?
Yeah, I think it was like 60,000 that you could get.
Wow.
You had 6,000 credits. So you did
Yeah.
marginally better. But it's like we had idiots on our ships.
Yeah.
Just absolute buffoons,
awful.
incapable of doing like the most big. They'd say like press the orange button, and they're like, struggling to do anything.
Yeah. Everything kind of blinks up like what you're supposed to press.
Right. It's like so obvious. Just mash that button, and they're
Right.
screaming at you through the speed. They're like, "Push
Yeah.
the orange button," and I'm like, "Dog.
Yeah.
If I'd push it for him, I would." But
Yeah, I know.
does not work. Hate that ride. Actually, hate that ride.
Tiara says, Emerald says, how long was the ride? The ride was what, like?
3 minutes.
It was 3 minutes. It was very short.
If you
I think
can-
it was like 3 to 5 minutes. Probably 3 minutes.
You could buy for the price of entry for this experience. You could buy a VR headset on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And play Star Wars Squadrons and have so much more fun for hours.
Yeah.
Than you would ever have on this stupid ride.
Yeah, it was not very, very fun.
Unfortunate.
So, yes, unfortunate.
Look up a video. There's YouTube videos. Because
Yeah.
I wanted to see, I was so disappointed by it. I looked up, like, what does a good run look like? And it's always the same. It's kind of just, it's a
Not
bad
that
video
good.
game. It's like an arcade game. And just like
So,
that, we're talking
moving
about new
on.
things.
I don't know. Whoops, this should be under shows, but this is under. Actually, I could
Movies.
just do this really quickly. There we go.
What?
Shows. Okay, so talking about shows, the Sex and the City reboot after, I think it was like 10 years after the first movie, called In Just Like That, was finished as of yesterday, and it was awful. It was
5.4.
It was awful.
That's a great rating on
That's
IMDb.
much higher than it should be. It was a terrible, terrible show. Probably shouldn't have been made. It was so awful. And I really loved the original series. I kind of feel like I've watched that series so many times, just like having it on in the background, because I like to have this idea of, it makes me feel like I have like a group of female friends that I hang out with and I do things with and get lunch with and talk about things with. So that's kind of why I like the show. But this reboot was disastrous for so many reasons. So not sure if there's any fans out there. You don't have to watch it. Duncan suffered through this with me. Yeah, heart eyes.
What would you say was the most egregious thing that they did?
It was so overly focused on trying to incorporate like diversity, because the first show was very, very criticized
For white
being-
women, yeah.
Right. And they didn't have any
Right.
minority characters on there. There wasn't a lot of representation or diversity. And that was a long-standing criticism. And so I think that they tried to make up for lost time by doing as much stuff as possible, but it came off as really...
Checkboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came off really... it wasn't genuine. So it came out really, really forced and inappropriate. TR says this is the best representation, wow, of horses. And don't be mean. I've always thought Sarah Jessica Parker is very pretty. I've always thought she's got like a very, very kind of just like...
She has a very unique look.
Classic. Right,
Instantly,
right.
like, recognizable.
Yeah.
Where a lot of others kind of blend into the...
Exactly. I've always thought she's really pretty, and I think they all look really beautiful.
They've aged very well.
Yeah, I think
incredibly
they've
well.
taken care of themselves. Well, she's taking great care of herself. I mean, she had like... Everyone thought she had like body goals because she was very, very fit and toned without being, you know, overly muscular or anything like that. But really, really unfortunate. Did not like it. Enjoyed watching it, though.
What was worse as a sequel, this or the Star Wars trilogy?
This.
Wow.
This by far.
That's
by far.
Wild. Okay.
I saw another show that I hated called Emily in Paris. I watched the entirety of this in like 2 days. It was so bad. It was the worst thing ever. Emily was disgusting, most unlikable female character I've seen in a really long time. I only watched it because it said Emily in Paris, and I thought, oh, they'd be speaking French in it. They barely speak French in it, and when the Americans speak French, they speak it so ugly. I'm learning French right now, and I really try hard to make it sound nice. I use the correct pronunciation, the correct vowels to the best of my ability. But this show tries to make a mockery of it. It's like, bonjour, comment ça va?
Oh, that's disgusting.
Je viens acheter un croissant.
Croissant?
It's so disgusting, and I hated the show. I hate-watched it. Will I watch the next season? Absolutely. I love hate-watching this show. I love hating on this show. So that's my show. There you go.
Oh, hey, so then I saw. So this show, I meant to put this in the list like for the last one. I watched this a few months ago, and I love this show. This show is stuck with me in a weird way. Usually I'll watch a show and like 6 months later I'll forget about it. This is something that's like, it's unique and it truly stands on its own. Saturday Morning All-Star Hits, abbreviated to SMASH, is a recreation of
This is not it, by the way.
This is not it. I don't know what this is. This,
I just played the trailer.
So Kyle Mooney, who is a SNL human, plays himself, or no, he plays all these different characters that strive to recreate what it was like to watch cartoons in the 80s and the 90s. So they create a whole bunch of unique cartoon concepts that are either spin-offs of property or very, very close sort of parodies of them. But it's never stupid the way that I think a lot of parody gets stupid. Instead, it's very reverent and honest, and it's kind of just, it does the thing of doing what they did while being somewhat modern and funny about it.
Right.
But he plays so many characters on the screen at the same time. So like I actually looked up how they filmed this, and he would have to watch himself act and react to himself in space.
Wow.
Like at the same, like this guy's talented.
Yeah.
For an SNL person, but it actually ends up you end up watching like a VHS tape per episode, and then just recordings of these shows, and it all adds together to tell this larger story. It's very cool. Like
Interesting.
I don't really know how to describe it other than it is completely its own thing. You've never seen anything like it before, and if you have the time to sit down and like watch it, do it, because it's amazing. Especially if you grew up with this kind of stuff. Like, there were episodes, or there were recreations of things that I remember watching. Like, there was a Don't Do Drugs special when I was a kid. It had Garfield, the Ghostbusters, Care Bears. They recreate that special, but for the epidemic of kids saying "shut up."
Yeah.
Or as they call it in the show, "S up."
S up.
Don't say "S up" because it'll ruin things. William Hacking has seen it clearly because he just said, subs, which is like their catchphrase. So good. I would watch this again. I love this show.
That
Absolutely
looks like your stuff.
Love this show.
That does not look like my stuff.
Well, I grew up with this.
I grew up with it too. We literally grew up in the same exact
Yeah,
time
but you didn't
period.
watch Saturday morning cartoons.
No, but
You had cable. You had cartoons around the clock.
I didn't watch that many cartoons. I only watched like Captain Planet, Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man.
Saturday morning is like a holy day for us cableless poor children.
No, I was taken to like feed the homeless.
Yeah, and I was taken to the television where I could turn it on and watch Fox Kids or the
feed the
WB
homeless downtown
Kids Zone
on Saturday. I don't know what this sitting around watching cartoons on Saturday thing is.
It's the only time the cartoons were on. Kite Tails. It was the only option I had.
Okay, we're done with shows.
Saturday morning all-star hits.
We're moving on to games. Why is this black?
Uh-oh.
Weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go refill my water. And make sure my dress isn't weird. You can talk about that.
What is going on right now? So Sony bought Bungie. I was about to say Activision. They did not buy Activision. That was Microsoft's cross the bear. Sony bought Bungie, which only works on one game currently, Destiny 2. And I did a little bit of reading on this because I am not aware of anything else that Bungie has been working on. Bungie is the creator of Halo and Marathon and a couple of other games. Days of yore, but they don't do that anymore. They just do Destiny, which is a middling game at best. They're ending this soon. I didn't know that. Destiny had like a 10-year shelf life, and they are like planning to actually end this series outright. And really weird buy for Sony to buy a studio that has no announced plans of the future. It does make me curious of what their long-term vision is, because that must be why Sony bought them. I mean, 1.2 billion is not a lot compared to the 67.8 that Microsoft spent, but it's still no small number. Oh, thank you.
I wanted to show these off.
I have a glass with my face on it.
My brother made these glasses. So can you see? They have like stats on there. That's so cute. Yeah.
I've got charisma, empathy, and wisdom.
I don't know why you have low empathy though, it says.
I mean, that's accurate.
Mine
that is
says
accurate.
class, creativity, and wrath. And I don't know why my brother did this, because my brother really hasn't seen me upset. He's seen me upset a couple times, but it wasn't at him. I was upset at someone else, and he happened to be seeing the fallout of that.
I would laugh if these were just like randomly, like he didn't actually,
if
he didn't get the pick.
Yeah,
you know, like what were the stats? And we just got them because.
Okay, yeah. So, anyways, that's that.
I covered it. I don't understand this at all. That's my takeaway.
It is weird. 1.2 billion for Destiny 2. I didn't realize Destiny 2 still had like that much of an active player base.
It kind of does. It's not Call of Duty size, but the thing that you missed while you're grabbing the glasses, they're going to sunset this game soon. There's like one more big expansion coming out, and then they're done with this game.
So they're just paying for the team.
Yes, they're buying the development. And in fact, the thing that doesn't, or I guess this, you know, they spent more than 1.2 billion. The 1.2 billion was to keep the developers on.
Right.
So they're buying the talent essentially.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a weird buy. I think everyone was expecting them to buy From Software. I still am expecting them to buy From Software. Yeah. So.
Bishop said, oh, he picked Wrath. Yes, he did. And I don't know why he would, because like I said, he really hasn't seen me upset. He's seen me upset at other people. But that was a rare fluke thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still seen it. He knows. He knows it exists.
Also,
and he saw me react like, I probably deserved it. And then he knows I have no empathy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I want to cut my hair like this much.
How much?
This is like 4 or 5 inches. Yes or no, should I cut it this much? Or should I leave it? I kind of feel like there is a point where your hair gets too long.
Your hair is like crazy brown.
I know, it's because it's the highlights.
Yeah, like it's not that brown in real life.
No, it's the light that makes it super, super brown.
Yeah.
Also, I tried to use my new Dyson Airwrap last night, and it looked like Shirley Temple.
You look like Shirley Temple.
I looked like Shirley Temple for 30 seconds. And then I combed it out because it was supposed to have these like nice big voluminous mermaid waves, and it totally fell flat, and it just looks like my hair regularly looks. I spent all that time. So I need to practice that. Anyways, that's the hair talk. Thanks for coming. anyone that wants to know, is a very difficult thing to use. They made it look easy. I feel like I was lied to regarding Dyson Airwrap. Okay, so
Their
that's
vacuums are great, though.
Okay, so we're done, basically.
I had a thing, but I mean,
What's your
it wasn't
thing?
really. It was just kind of a.
You can look it up. You can Google it if you'd like.
I've been playing Armored Core
Yeah.
4 specifically because there was a leak. I don't think we talked about this. The leak of Armored Core.
No.
Man, that's a miss. So Armored Core, for those that don't know, was the game that From Software was most known for prior to Dark Souls. It's a mech game. Mechs rule. My brother and me, we used to play the crap out of Armored Core on the PlayStation demo disc because we were poor, like I mentioned in the cable section.
Yeah.
We only had demo discs. So we would build the mechs and we'd fight each other on that demo disc. But just hours of enjoyment in that game. I got the games later, played like 1, 2, 4, and now I'm replaying 4 again. And I never played 4 Answer. I actually bought a copy from eBay, of all places. I got it on eBay. Games are not cheap anymore.
Oh, games are expensive.
Yeah, but old games. Like this is a PlayStation 3 game. It was like $30 on eBay.
It's vintage.
But I'm replaying 4. I'm going to play 4 Answer, which I did not realize Hideteki Miyazaki, who's the creator of Dark Souls, that was like his first game that he directed. So I'm really excited to dive into that one.
Yeah.
But recently, this was all spurned because recently there was a huge leak. From Software was doing this survey that's supposed to be tight-lipped, don't talk about it, And there's a whole bunch of images of a new Armored Core game in there.
What the
squeck? And if you are a From Software fan, you have probably been clamoring for this news for years now because they have literally, since Demon Souls, really only made Souls games and one VR puzzle game since then. So like this is it. Huge news.
Huge
Bow,
news
bow, 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 bow. Big deal. Armored Core. And I'd be so curious to see what that game looks like post Souls. They've made so many Souls games. Going back to something that they started with and reevaluating it with their critical eye, like, ooh, that excites me greatly.
You love it.
I love it. I know you do too. I can tell.
I secretly love it.
You secretly love it.
Back to my hair.
Back to the hair.
Emerald says cut it, and Tiara says don't do it. They'll hear you say that and say cut it to under my ears. Yeah, they always go like shorter than what you tell them to do, right? I know, Tiara, you cut your own hair, and you shared with me once a tutorial on how to do that. And I was going to do that, but then I chickened out. I should just try and do that. Maybe that way I have like some control over it. Anyway, Armored Core.
Armored Core.
You love it.
Love it. We live for it.
Fresh Ingredients says, I used to love Armored Core.
Well, yeah, you can't love it anymore because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Got to bring it back. There hasn't been an Armored Core game since the PS3. Wow. The PS360 era, I should say.
Bishop thinks I have a tell. He thinks that when I'm not invested in what you're saying, I reply with amazing.
That's unfortunate because you said it in regards to Armored Core.
I don't even know what Armored Core is.
Amazing.
Okay, I don't know what Armored Core is.
It's a mech fighting game.
And for me to reply
where you
amazing,
build the mechs.
That's polite. That's just a sign of politeness.
It's the perfect blend. No, it's not a blend. It stands on its own. It is like you build your mech kind of like a Gundam, but they can be fast, they can be slow, they can have tank legs, they can have hover legs. You choose your guns, shoulder mounts.
Holy cow.
Holy cow. It's one of those games that like when you actually hit the button, the triangle button, there's a screen that literally just looks like a wall of text, and that's your stats. And you can manipulate all those little things. It's so good. Oh, can't wait.
You love Armored Core.
We love the Armored Core. It's been too long.
I don't think I have anything else to share. I think that's pretty much it. This was
It's a light.
We've only streamed for 30 minutes.
What the heck?
Live 35 minutes.
Smudge, come here. People want to see you.
I feel like
Come here, Smudge.
this new setup feels very rushed. We don't get off tangent as easily as without having something to look at. That's kind of crazy. Does anyone have any questions, any topics? Justin Plath says, hey, what's up? I love to talk about movies and TV shows and also video games. I have autism and I have a passion for movies and TV shows. Well, I feel like you're in the right place because we usually talk about movies, shows, and games, which seems to be like all of the things that you're interested in. Unfortunately, we've just finished up talking about all that.
I could talk about Monster Hunter Rise for like at least 30 minutes. I could do it easily. Get hyped for that Sunbreak expansion.
Yeah.
This is Smudge.
This is Smudge. Smudge is a very needy dog. Also,
why is he acting like so weird right now? Like he's acting like he's scared.
He's acting very pitiful. He's very pitiful.
This is very pitiful.
I feel like I just got something, an eyelash stuck in my eye. That we can watch the new awful Pinocchio trailer by Lionsgate tomorrow together.
Yes.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Let's watch that. Also,
oh my gosh.
Duffman said, in other news, the PlayStation State of Play was cool this week. Yes, I was going to put that on the list. I'm glad Duffman brought it up. Can we bring up the PlayStation State of Play?
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Okay.
And what was that?
It's on Gran Turismo.
Okay, well, let's just watch. We're not going to watch the entire thing.
Okay.
We're just going to watch a little bit of this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I have an eyelash and it's killing me.
No.
I might have to go fix my eye. Okay, here, let's put this on really quickly. You can hear it through that.
I can
can't
hear it,
you?
yeah.
Okay. We're going to turn this up. I just want you to hear how awful this character sounds.
There you go. Now, what should we name you? Maybe Leonardo. No, he'd grow up to be a turtle
animation
who
looks
only
so
cares
bad.
about pizza. I don't believe my eyes. Your name will be Pinocchio.
Is that Larry David?
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
Why did they get Pauly Shore to play Pinocchio?
Special.
Is this real?
Yeah, Pauly Shore.
Is this real?
Yes, this is real. It looks so bad.
Shows barely had any audience.
It looks so bad. The animation legit looks like
They got Pauly Shore to play Pinocchio?
It
He's
just
gonna be
looks
like,
so
and so the
awful.
lion, my nose grew. How
oh
weird.
my gosh. Oh, hi,
what
James
the
Black.
squeck?
Just
What's up,
when
James
I thought
Black?
I was out, Keitel smell. Aw, thank you, James. James, I would be very sad if you were not here anymore because you leave me such nice comments like on all of my videos. And so I have to see this. I've been trying to do my social skills channel, and that goes along with all the consultation work I've been doing and stuff like that. Let me just pull it up. And it means so much to me when people will comment on my videos and stuff like that, so much more than it would just shooting me a message or something. And so I really appreciate when people do that. And a note, here we go. Okay, so here's my channel, my other channel, for all of my social skills videos. So I would appreciate if you guys could go subscribe there and help me out there because I'm actively trying to work on that. But I just wanted to say I appreciate, and I know I'm like a raven. I remember faces. I remember people who are supportive and encouraging to me, and I can list them all on one hand. No, I'm just saying I really appreciate when people help me out, and I know James Flack, you're very good about comments and stuff like that, so I appreciate that. Arsenic says I'd still watch it. Arsenic, we are not watching that awful Pinocchio.
Hey,
It looks
it's
so
me,
bad.
Pinocchio.
didn't
Let's
know
go
why
to
they
the
got Pauly Shore.
biodome.
Oh, hi, Ika. Oh my gosh, Ika. I've arrived just in time for yet another traumatizing version of Pinocchio.
Did Ika see Lies of P as well?
Lies of P.
Lies of P.
No, I don't think
We
so.
should show Lies of P. I don't think we talked about that on
this
this.
PlayStation thing. Do you
Okay.
want to do this PlayStation thing?
Yes.
Okay, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, let's just do the
And then just highlight the games on
games. Yeah.
the
So
games one.
this is a game that was just not on my radar at all. Gran Turismo 7. I've not played a Gran Turismo game since the PS3, and I did not really care for that one. Forza kind of just took over. Forza became the de facto racing game.
Right.
But they put on a state of play this week. I am buying this game the day it comes out.
Holy
It
smokes.
is there's something about Gran Turismo that is different from other racing games, which is a sense of class and aesthetic, which you can see here. They've always been known for these gorgeous menus using very expensive fonts. Like they present things in a very like classy sort of Japanese polished way.
Right.
It's just kind of how they've always been. And this video, they literally just show like 30 minutes of menus, and you get to see a little bit of racing, but this game is class defined. That's all it is. You literally can get your car washed and your oil changed, and there's visuals for it. It's just like, it's all the little bits and pieces of polish that fit together to make this very eclectic racing experience.
Okay, so basically amazing.
Yes. As Kitetails would say, amazing. But I am hyped for this.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, that looks like an actual video of two cars in the street. That does not look like a game.
They've always been known to like push the boundary graphically, but I'm excited for them to kind of get back to their roots of being a more
Can you guys hear
weird,
Smudge
mechanically
breathing?
driven.
Poor Smudge.
They also have a really
wait,
cool
wait,
career
wait.
mode. You
Did
start
you
with like a
see?
crappy little Volkswagen Golf, and you have to
Right.
work your way up, which I like a lot. Because Forza just dumps everything on you.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a great model. I love
Yeah.
Forza.
Forza's fun.
Forza's fun. Forza is arcadey, where this is more of a simulation with a career, which is kind of neat. I'm excited. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it.
Yes. So, Duffman says the main band is a Japanese jazz group called T Square, who actually inspired the Mario Brothers theme. Oh my gosh, that is awesome! That's really cool.
The music is
I'll have to
always
listen
great.
to that,
I think
yeah.
Idris Elba's in the soundtrack too.
What the-
I saw that somewhere, and I'm like, Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
What
Okay. Do we have any more suggestions for feedback? Is that capital font too much? I'm now seeing it looks quite overwhelming.
It kind of looks like a news ticker. Like everyone's
does.
screaming the news
Oh my
at you.
gosh. Okay, so here, you can turn off games. I have to say something because last week I didn't say this and I was kind of upset with myself that I forgot to say this. So we watched this show called The Lady in the Dale, which we talked about last week, which was about Elizabeth Carmichael.
Oh yeah, I know where you're
Who
going.
was a, she was a trans, she was a con artist, okay? But she was an entrepreneur who was trying to create this new
Criminal first, entrepreneur second.
criminal entrepreneur. But she was trying to make this new car, this vehicle. And she basically swindled a lot of people out of money, making all these false claims. And there was this journalist, Dan Carlson, who went after her and pounded on the door and investigated and showed up.
Because he knew it was a sham.
He knew something was wrong.
Yeah, he knew.
He kept asking, like, why are you accepting things for a vehicle that we haven't even seen yet? You're not allowed to be using deposits for a product to fund the company. That has to go in its own separate escrow account that you can't touch. And very, very proactive with leading. Kind of took on this, it was a personal vendetta for him to investigate what was actually happening to people's money. And I remember saying as I was watching, I was like, I love this guy because he's like not giving up. He knows that people are being swindled and he's not giving up. And so we keep watching the show, and they have, they're interviewing him in present day, and all of this like took place in the 70s, and they have clips and stuff. But the whole time, I'm like, oh, I love Dan Carlson. He's great. The end of the show, they show his son, who is none other than Tucker Carlson.
And we were like,
And
oh no.
That was the biggest reveal out of the whole documentary. That's what made it worth watching to me, was that reveal. I was so appalled and shocked. It was the biggest twist.
It was the biggest twist. Well, and it made perfect sense too, because you had his father, who's like a legit hard-hitting, beat-pounding journalist. Like he's out there asking the questions, getting people's faces, and then you have his son. To quote,
Who's just riding on the coattails of his father's journalism.
Like, literally
apparently.
a boat shoe of a man.
But I just thought it was hilarious that I was like, I loved Dan Carlson. I had no idea. I'd even put the name together. Wait a second. That's his dad. That's Tucker Carlson's dad. So
The apple fell very far from the tree.
That was a shock. I was shocked and appalled. I still like Dan Carlson. I mean, he was great. If you saw these clips of him, he's like not giving up, even though he was threatened. They were going to kill him.
Yeah, he was like dealing with the mafia.
Right.
Yeah,
if
the mafia was there.
Stop investigating this, and he like took a swab sample to get tested, like because Elizabeth Carmichael was wanted by the FBI for over like 30 years of fraud. So it was a really, really crazy twist.
Bishop asks, who is Tucker Carlson? Who is he?
Khan Genghis says sometimes the apples roll far away.
Very far away.
I
And are
love
never to
that.
be seen again or
Yeah.
seen every day on Fox News.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy. Okay, so we've now drawn it out to 46 minutes.
Nice.
We don't have to stream for an hour. We usually do.
We usually do. But, I mean, if we can't do it, I blame
we
Smudge.
can't do it. This boy is so...
He's so needy. He's a
the
needy little
neediest
boy.
one.
Yes, you
Does
are.
anyone have any other topics or things that they'd like us to talk about? I'll bring something up. I tried to do this look. There's this makeup artist I sometimes watch on YouTube because she's very down to earth and I like her. And she did this cool thing with brown eyeliner and it looked really nice. And I thought I could try that with my eyes. And I don't like how it turned out.
It's not as
my
noticeable on camera as it is in person, though.
It's really noticeable. I feel like I
And
look in the mirror and I
It's
look
the opposite
like
of your highlights.
a ghost girl. Yeah, it's really dark and I'm not used to it. I don't really ever wear eyeliner. I'll do like a winged felt eyeliner on top of my eyelid, but not really like, you know, the waterline and everything like that. So
I decided not to use the eyeliner tonight. I opted out of it.
We were going to do eyeliner one night. What was that for?
No, we were going
like-
to do pink hair.
We were going to do eyeliner and pink hair.
Yes.
It's
I don't remember the
like an
reason for that.
I think it was like an anime thing. It was for an anime. There was like a show. I said I hated pink hair or something.
I don't remember. Someone there does. Twisted Bishop asks, do you have any opinions on Joe Rogan?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Joe Rogan. Aw, Duffin says, have a good weekend. Smudge needs to sleep. He has insomnia.
He doesn't sleep.
Unfortunately, he doesn't sleep. He has insomnia. Do we have opinions on Joe Rogan? I do have opinions on Joe Rogan. I mean, I don't feel that you should be silencing somebody on the pretense of you disagree with what they say, because that would mean you would have to do it across the board. And I just think the whole like cancel culture thing is totally out of control. I don't know anything about Joe Rogan. I don't watch him. I don't know anything about him.
What about, like, is he getting too much sun, you think?
Does he look overly red? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't have asked it that
Does
way.
he have an
This
overly
is like
healthy
maybe he
flesh?
needs a little more sunblock.
Oh,
That's
thank
just-
you. Tiara says smoky eyes with brown is cool. That's what I was trying to go for, but I just feel like I'm really, really bad at eye makeup, so...
Man, Emerald has a great memory.
What's that?
Says it was about Arcane and the blue hair.
Was that it? It
Yeah.
was about Arcane.
Because Vi has pink hair.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
And we were going to do pink hair.
Right. Yeah, Arcane. Jason Robbins says I like Joe Rogan. I don't know anything about him. I've never listened to him before. I don't know anything about Joe Rogan.
He gets really good guests on his show.
I don't know. anything
Really
about
great
Joe
guests.
Rogan.
Like, you know, he had a phenomenal conversation with Bernie Sanders.
I don't
Phenomenal.
want to know anything about Joe Rogan, but I don't think shutting someone down. I think this is people like to distract from issues by going after
Yes.
superficial things instead of going after tangible things that people actually should care about. Meanwhile, I bet you, like, I don't know, probably something like 80-90% of Americans wouldn't be able to tell me who their elected representatives are for, you know, their state.
But they can all tell
So it's
you
just crazy.
their opinion on Joe Rogan.
Yes. So there are some fundamentally horrible priorities that people have. I think the whole thing is just ridiculous. So, yeah, that is what I think. Bishop says, maybe we could look at a picture, Joe. I'm not getting into this with you, Bishop, because I don't want to hear it. I know.
Do you
what
think
you're
it's
trying to
weird
say.
that M&M's gets busted open for reporting
Oh, yeah,
that
the whole
they
M&Ms
employ actual slaves to
Look, his eye
get their
looks
chocolate,
really pink. His
and then the
eye-
next day the M&M, green M&M is suddenly getting canceled for being too sexy?
Doesn't his eye look pink on screen?
Yeah,
It looks like he has a little allergy or something.
I think it always looks like that.
Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. Okay, so if no one else has any questions, I think we should just wrap it up. I'm sorry, Justin, have you watched the Terry Gilliam movie, Fear? I have watched the Terry Gilliam movie, 12 Monkeys.
And Brazil.
And Brazil. I liked 12 Monkeys. I did not like Brazil. I don't know why you thought. I enjoyed watching Brazil, but it was very depressing. I'm not sure why you thought I would love it.
You love depressing stuff,
I love depressing things like The Notebook.
which is way more depressing than Brazil.
The Notebook is so depressing. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I just want to watch things just so I can cry at them. But yeah, 12 Monkeys is a great movie. Tiara says Joe Rogan interviewed a woman who lives alone in Alaska and is hunted by grizzly bears every winter. Oh my gosh, that is awful. I would move.
Some people like that life, though.
I couldn't do it. Also, Alaska only gets sun for like 4 months of the year. It's very depressing.
That's depressing.
They have the highest rate of depression in
Yes.
Alaska. I went to Alaska once and...
We watched that movie Insomnia.
Yeah. Alaska.
Alaska.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop here. I think that's it. You can hit that goodbye thing.
Hit that goodbye. Okay.
So what you do is you turn off full camera, and then it will automatically go to goodbye.
Oh.
Yay! Okay. Space Cowboy says, have you guys ever played Hitman 1 or 2?
Yes. I think I did like a long diatribe on one of the streams about those games. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. And I love a good stealth action game.
I saw the movie with Timothy Olyphant.
How do you get his name now every time?
I have no idea.
Every time you get him.
I have no idea.
It's not right. It's not
I
fair.
saw the
It's
movie
outrageous.
with Timothy Olyphant. It was such a weird movie. It was such a weird, bizarre movie. Okay, so that's all. Thanks
That's
for
it.
watching, guys.
Okay.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.